Hey, Shalom, Shalom. This is Yah from the Great Millstone, Houston Camp. And I want to give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahar, Wakar Kadash, and double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, the bishops and the elders on down, and the high priest that taught them. And I'm going to go into a lesson today dealing with, people as trees. Okay, even with, the story with Adam, with Eve, that story in the garden. A lot of people don't know it's metaphorical about trees and fruits, people's being as trees. And I'm going to get a few scriptures going into that, okay? And it's Genesis 3 and 8. And they heard the voice of Yahweh Bashma Shai, power, just Adam and his wife, right? Walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And that's going into, they had prophets back then, okay? Out there from the beginning. I think that says that in Luke. Yeah, they had prophets back in the, prophesying even back then, okay? And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh Shai power amongst the trees of the garden. Amongst the trees, those the other nations. It was considered as trees, okay? And basically, that's what you got, the trees and the fruit. The fruit goes into the philosophies of these other trees, which is the other nations, And that's what Eve took hold to that fruit and had Adam to transgress too. So, yeah, just making a point on that. And I'm going to get Ezekiel 31 and 5. This is Ezekiel 31 and 5. Therefore, his height, this goes into Adam too. Okay? Therefore, his height was exalted above all the trees of the field. See? And his burrows were multiplied, which is a seed, what's that? Be fruitful and multiply. That's what that's going into. And his branches became long because of his multitude of waters when he shot forth. Yeah, so just letting you know that, hey, he was, that height, therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field. All the nations, the trees, showing you that trees go back to people, okay? Let's get Psalms 1 and 3. I'm just letting the scriptures do the talking, This Psalms 1 and 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water. The rivers of the water is going into the truth. That bringeth forth his fruit in his season, his leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Yeah, so he was planted. He was a tree planted by rivers of water, Like I say, as goes into that truth, getting this truth, this knowledge, this wisdom, and that's the point. And he shall be like a tree planted. Okay, that's another proof that trees can be talking about people. And I'm gonna get another one in Mark 8 and 23. Start at 23. This is Mark 8 and 23. And he took the blind man, that's Yahweh Shai, and he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town And when he had spit on his eye and put his hand upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. Mark 8:24. It's the point. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. See? You see men as trees walking. And, just speaking as a man, I believe that's how you knew that our people back then had their afros. Like if you look at a wholesome whole tree, you look at it, the round of it on top look like an afro, proving that, our people, or, the men had their afros back then. I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, that's just speaking as a man, my opinion. But yeah, and but that's it. I just hope this has been edifying. Just wanted to grab some scriptures on, about trees being as men, as people, or nations, And until next time, I'm gonna give all praise due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash, and double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, the bishops and the elders on down, and the high priest that taught them. Until next time, Shalom.